Welcome! Today, ECI released a new feature update for the MobileTech app, the tool used and trusted by hundreds of dealers across the globe to empower their techs to access their service calls from a handheld mobile device. For those of you who subscribe to Printanista, ECI's market-leading device management platform for discovery, there is now a fully integrated service between the two products. This is a brand new feature available to all eAutomate Cloud users from March the 6th, 2025, when you have both MobileTech and Printanista as part of your ECI tech stack. Let's take a look. So the journey starts inside of Printanista, and of course, there's tons of valuable information that can be harnessed from this particular product. We're connecting to all of our customer devices to pull back critical metrics that allow us to do things like automate contract billing through meter readings, gather supply information so we can create automated supply fulfillment when customers need them most. And of course, we're also capturing service error states to help us understand the current state of the machine as it relates to its performance. Now, all of this information is great. It's really useful for different personas like contract administrators and purchasers, but it's equally effective in the hands of technicians. So what we've done is we've taken that capability and given that same level of access to your field service technicians so they can access that on demand in lieu of not having a desktop machine. So as we switch gears and bring up the MobileTech app, we're going to show you how that integration takes place. So when we assign a new service call to a technician, they get a push notification onto their mobile device, and our demo technician is going to go ahead and launch MobileTech where they can access their call queue. From here, we can then navigate to the map to see a geographical breakdown of where we are relative to any open calls that are currently in our queue, pinned to a map. So this helps us understand geographical distance, and if we wanted to access this call near Birmingham, simply tap on it, it takes us into the call record. So from here, there's tons of useful information that is going to give us context around the call, including notes provided by the customer telling us that the customer has magenta streaks running across the page. And they also sent in a photo, which our dispatcher kindly loaded to the service call inside of eAutomate, which we can pull down. And now we have visual context too, so I can see proof of the problem that resides. So that's all great information, of course. Now, I did mention we could load up a map to see the geographical distance, but if we want to quantify that and actually put that in terms of miles and distance based on live traffic, at the tap of a button, we can now see this launched into our preferred navigation tool. So the idea is it's tap and press experience. So maybe we now want to see a little bit more information, the current state of the machine, and this is where the Printanista integration comes in. At the top, we have details about the machine, and if we look at the printer error state, we can actually see it has low toner, a paper jam, and an input tray missing. All good information that we would want to know as service technicians before heading out on that 1 hour 50 car journey. And then underneath, we have live supply information that is pulling through. So whilst all of the supply levels that we can see in our current view seem to be okay, as we scroll down further, we start to see the magenta toners running low at 10%, but it's still got live. But at the very bottom here, we also see drum levels, and the magenta drum is now at 0%. So now we have true context. We have evidence from the customer in the form of a picture, we have reported issues, and we have Printanista validating the fact that the drum cartridge has now expired. And that's likely leading to the problem that the customer has reported. So based on that information, I would probably want to arm myself with a magenta drum before I head out to this particular service call. But it's not just current information we pull through, there's also non-current information you can see here, such as waste toner levels, if provided by the DCA, or if not, we can see the state of those waste toner cartridges, for instance, as well as feed rollers. Now, coming back out to the main screen, I mentioned we may want to arm ourselves with a magenta drum before heading out to this call. And there are a number of ways that you can go about transferring parts into your car stock through MobileTech. You can do parts requests. We can do a direct warehouse transfer if permission to do so. But in this case, we're going to do a field transfer. And we're going to lean on our fellow technicians out in the field to provide us with the part that we are after, in this case, that magenta toner. So when we go ahead and open up the field transfer menu, it takes us into the next screen. And this is where we would go ahead and start initiating that request. And it starts by adding a part number to this particular request. And that part number could be a number of different identifiers. Now, if we don't know the eAutomate part number, I've got a Xerox manual in front of me and it actually tells me the Xerox OEM part number. So I'm going to use that instead. And when we type that into MobileTech, it then does a cross-reference search to pull back the related eAutomate item number that I'm looking for, which is this Xerox Magenta drum. So I noticed Jamie has this available in his car stock. Jamie's actually 0.01 miles away, which is really useful context. That's actually me logged into my phone on my desk next to me. But what this is going to provide in the real world is a list of your technicians, and they're stack ranked in order based on the distance that they are to you as a technician. So now you can reduce travel even further by reaching out to the technician that is closest to you as of now to request the part that you are after. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and open up the chat, and then we could arrange a time and place to meet through the integrated chat function. And then what we need to do is we need to initiate that formal request, which then sends a push notification to Jamie's phone to say, hey, our demo technician has requested this part. Are you happy to accept? And when we accept on the other side, a push notification returns, thus creating the transfer and allowing me as a technician to now go ahead and consume this part on the service call. So if we go back into Zorro Lettings, we can now add this as a pending part to the service call. And what that will ensure is that I don't accidentally consume it on any other calls that I may travel to in between times if we're not going to this one next. So it reserves it for this particular service call. We know the customer needs a Xerox Magenta drum. That's been evidenced by Printanista. So now we're going to add this to that service call. So all that's left now really is to go ahead and travel. So because there was a bit of distance involved in getting to that call, if I forgot to dispatch in real time, I can back roll my time to when I actually left. And then we're going to record our arrival. And I got there about 20 minutes ago. I'm going to update my mileage. So this is my odometer reading on my vehicle. Super important because we want to make sure we're tracking profitability against the customer and the contract the equipment's tied to by offsetting it against any costs associated with travel. And now all we do is close the call out by entering our labor information. And one of the fields that we do need to enter is remarks. We need to validate the work we've done through freeform text. And I'm going to use the microphone. Replaced Magenta drum. Once we add that information in there, we can validate the meter readings. Entirely down to you whether you enforce technicians to update meter readings or you allow them to bypass. In this case, I can bypass. And now we're going to consume this part by adding it from pending to used by toggling this little switch. So now we fitted the Magenta drum to our customer machine. They're happy. That resolved the issue. We knew it was going to resolve the issue. We had the upfront information, of course. Now all we need to do is just close the call out. So by toggling this switch here, we can automatically email the customer a copy of the service call summary in PDF format. So that's going to go to sales@zorro.com. And best practice is to try and grab a signature wherever possible. And if we grab a signature, we need to attribute that to a name. In this case, Will's going to sign this off, and we can go ahead and close the call down, leaving the customer happy. So we hope you've seen value in what we've shown you today. But if you want to learn more, why not get in touch? Whether you're curious to know about MobileTech, Printanista, eAutomate, or any of the integrations in between, we would be happy to engage you further. So either get in touch with your account manager or email eainsidesales@ecisolutions.com, and we can set up a personalized one-to-one demonstration to take you through your needs. We hope to speak to you soon.